What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Pokemon Gold and Silver team. Now, since the virtual consoles have come out, I felt it would be pretty appropriate to cover this team. This is my very favorite gen, and I wanted to make a team on it of some of my Pokemon that I used over the years, probably more than all the others. Leave those C teams in the comment section below, people. Any feedback on the video would be wonderful as well. I love reading through your comments. Alright, so if you do want to battle me, that's in the description too of the video. I take battles on my chat at a random time every day. Now, I am doing a Shiny Silvally giveaway a couple of hours after this is uploaded, and I might do a couple of multi-battles as well, so make sure you're checking out for that one, and it should be pretty fun. Let's get this one. This is a battle against Elder Cleric on my chat. So, we have a Shiny Dugtrio lead, which is going to set up the Sandstorm. Now, I'm leading with Delibird in this situation, and I've also got going to go for Hail, so quite funny, I actually get rid of the Sandstorm and I'm going to replace it with Hail. Now, this was a Hail Aurora Veil Delibird. I always wanted to run Aurora Veil on Delibird because it's such a, it's such a frail Pokemon. I thought it'd be pretty funny. I've also got Ice Punch and Destiny Bond on this with a Focus Sash Hustle ability to power up the power of Ice Punch. Okay, so I've got the Hail up. Now the Dugtrio is going to use Swagger on me. Now, Swagger is going to boost my attack by +2. But unfortunately, it's going to give me the Confusion hacks. So I'm hoping here I do not hit myself in Confusion. That'd be really bad because I've already got a high attack already. And I'm able to get the Aurora Veil off, which is nice. So that's cool. So I've got a Delibird with the Veil up. So things are happening pretty good here. Anyway, so I'm doing a little bit of damage to the Dugtrio with the Hail. It's got leftovers, which is interesting. A bit of an interesting item on Dugtrio. Anyways, so here I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. Dugtrio is going to go for the Sandstorm. Now, since it had leftovers and since it's using Sandstorm, I'm starting to think it's going to be a scummy, like, Sandvale variant, and it actually turned out to be that, and I was able to hit the Dugtrio with Sandvale and with Hustle, so that's pretty good luck, and Dugtrio is down, so it was a pretty quality start. I did still have my Hail up, but that's alright. I got rid of one Pokemon. I lost my Sash. Anyway, so now we have Articuno coming out in the sand, which is quite funny. So I was like, well, let's go for Destiny Bond. It could have something decent against me. I might as well just do it. And Articuno is going to go for the Ancient Power, which is super effective against Delibird. And even with the Veil up, that's not going to be enough to save Delibird. And that is down. I'm going to bury the Articuno with me. So that was really good. Delibird, that was the perfect start, getting rid of Dugtrio and Articuno. So 2 burbs with 1 stone. Well, 1 bird and 1 rock. Or 1 little rock and a couple of the other rocks. Anyway, so we're swapping out for Alligator here. This was a special for Alligator set on the Delibird too. That was a max speed, max attack set. The Feraligatr gets some nice special moves. I've got on this max speed, max special attack with a Torrent ability, Potato Berry, max, and I've got, I ran Timid on this for max speed. I gave it Work Up, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, and Focus Miss. Hydro Pump worked quite nicely with Torrent, and does a little bit of damage to Ninetales, just over half, so obviously the drought is up, so they definitely cut down the damage a lot. Plus, Ninetales has very nice base defense too, which definitely helped my cause. Now, Ninetales is going to swap out, and we have the Venusaur swapping in, which is probably most definitely going to be benefited from the sun. Okay, so Hydro Pump misses. Not that it would have done a lot of damage anyway. Now, I do have Ice Beam on this. I thought I might as well go for it. The Veil wears off, but I was like, I just go for Ice Beam. It's going to be good enough. However, the Venusaur is going to go for Growth. Now, the move Growth in the sun boosts the special attack and attack by +2, so it's a very strong move. So going for the Ice Beam, they're doing over half, so it's a really good damage. Since that burn's not really worrying me too much. It's just extra damage because I'm running a fully special set, so that's good. Now, the Venusaur is going to go for a Power Whip, and yeah, there's no way I'm living that one. That's very strong after a Growth. I actually kind of prefer Gen 6's Power Whip animation to that. It's still pretty cool though. So swapping in my Execute, which also benefits highly from the sun. Now this was pretty cool. This was a Sunny Day Sinethus Giga Drain Toxic set. Harvest Ganlon Berry. So I was trying to harvest my Ganlon Berry over and over again with 100% chance harvest in the sun, and you get really tanky with this strategy, and also had Giga Drain for a little bit of recovery and not getting Taunt Bait basically. Okay, so swapping in Skarmory, I thought that would be best swap in there. I actually got a weak armor on the Power Whip. Now this Skarmory was a special set as well. It was a Dewar, Icy Wind, Flash Cannon, Air Slash with weak armor and weakness policy. So you could use Endure to your advantage if, say a special attacking Pokemon come out or something exactly like this. Electivire come out and you feared it had an electric type move. go for the Endure. So going for Endure, which enables you to live basically brace yourself on 1 health. And getting hit by the Wild Charge is going to take me all the way down to 1 health. Give me the weakness policy and also give me a weak armor as well, which is nice. It just sets up the Skarmory for sweeping. However, Electivire was quite a bad swapping for me because I didn't actually have much to hit it for. Even neutral, I had Air Slash, Flash Cannon, which both sucked against it. So really, my best option here was to go for the Icy Wind, and I knew it really wouldn't hit too hard, but I didn't have much choice, right? So anyway, going for the Icy Wind, I wanted to drop the Electivire speed. That was my main thing. I could have gone for Air Slash there, and I could have got maybe 1 flinch, but in the end, big end of things, it didn't make much of a difference. So Skarmory is down. It was quite a difficult matchup for it. So anyways, swapping in my Execute, my Typhlosion. Now this is a physical Typhlosion. It ran pretty well actually. And now I've got Flare Blitz on this for stab. I've got Earthquake for opposing fire types. I've got Focus Punch and Substitute holding the not the normal EMZ, the Fight EMZ. So Fight EMZ, you can fire off that Focus Punch right away. It's very, very powerful too. Plus, after you've used Z Crystal, you can always go for Sub Punch as well. Okay, so getting rid of the Electivire, which is cool with the Earthquake. Now, I was like, well, I may as well go for my Z move here and go for Z Focus Punch. The good thing about Z Focus Punch is I could disguise it as well, because, the special set with Typhlosion can commonly run Focus Blast as well. So you could disguise it and then go for a physical set. So all little mind games. So go for the all-out pummeling again against the Komomo. Now I knew this wouldn't take it out, but I thought we'd do some pretty good damage at least against it. So it does pretty good damage over half health. So I was happy with that. And we have the red card on that. So that's not all that bad. That's going to preserve my Typhlosion. Now we have the Execute coming in. Now, there wasn't really too much I could actually do with this. It's also going to go for a special move. Now, this is a bulky defensive Execute, and it's not going to take it well. It doesn't even hit the range of Ganlon Berry, which sucked. I was like, damn. Anyway, so obviously there's nothing I can do. I can't really swap into Typhlosion, so the Execute's going to have to take the Clanging Scales, and that is down. Now, the reason why I had Execute here, that was my first shiny in Gen 2, right? And all the starters I used a lot. And Skarmory I was one of the rarest Pokemon that I found in the game. Like, it took me ages to find it. And then it had a really crappy move for, which I quite liked. And I made it work in ways. So that's why I picked those Pokemon for. Anyway, so we have Ninetales coming out. It's going to do the Drought again. So I do have Earthquake for Ninetales, which was good. And I also got the Substitute on the swap there. So I knew that would swap after using Clanging Scales, because it has all those defense drops. And that was only going to work to my advantage. So go for the tightening my focus now. I can go for the Focus Punch, which is good because I got the sub to hide behind and I'm not going to flinch or anything. And Zen Headbutt is going to be enough to break my Substitute. It's a physical Ninetales. So we're both running a physical fire set, compared to both of our normal special sets. So Focus Punch is enough to take out Ninetales pretty easily. And the last Pokemon is Como. Now, it's within range to nearly take out. However, it's going to hit me fairly hard. So I thought, let's swap out Typhlosion here. Maybe wait for a Clanging Scales and swap it back in afterwards. So going into Meganium. Now, Meganium was probably my most tankiest Pokemon on the team. On this set, I had Synesis, Leech Seed. The Synesis worked nice with the Sunny Day. Leech Seed, Ancient Power, and Petal Blizzard with Overgrown Leftovers, max health and max... I've got max defense, but I've got a boosting special defense nature. I think I've got Sassy on this. Just as sort of like a mixed tank. Anyway, so the Como is going to go for the work up, boosting its stats. The best I can really do to this, as I said, is Leech Seed or Petal Blizzard. I thought to go for Petal Blizzard because, that it's already, if it does go for a Clanging Scales, it's going to, power up my move because it's dropping its defenses, special defenses. Anyway, so your Focus Miss is going to miss, which is good. Since I'm very bulky, I thought, well, I'm going to be able to live one of them, right? And since I've actually done another Petal Blizzard, that's actually put it in range for my Typhlosion to actually revenge kill this. Even if it went down to a critical hit, that was all good. Anyway, so we're going to have Focus Blast, Focus Miss, lands this time, and that's going to be enough to do a lot of damage to Meganium, but it's very, very bulky Pokemon. It's going to be able to take that and finish off with the Petal Blizzard. Hope you guys enjoyed this first battle. Let's get on to the next one. We got a good battle here too, and make sure you stick around for it. So, with this one, I thought I could leave with... The Delibird was actually working pretty good, right? I could get that, I could get the Hail up, the Aurora Veil, and sometimes I could get the Destiny Bond up too. Alright, so we have a Bibarel lead. Now, Bibarel has Simple. It can be quite a scary Pokemon, so you got to get rid of it before it starts setting up. So going for the Hail right off the bat here again. So I've got my Hail happening. That's not the good thing about it is I can set up the Aurora Veil. So the worst I can do right is to go for Hail, set up the Veil and die, or I can opt to not go for that. I can just go for Hail and Destiny Bomb. Anyway, so it's going to boost its defense there with the simple abilities. I got to get rid of this thing, right? I got to get rid of it. So I'm going for the Veil now. I was wondering what other moves it can have. Obviously, I know what moves it can have, but I was wondering what type of set this was going to be. So anyway, it's going to be a Skull Bash set. Now, Skull Bash is going to be give it a plus in defense, which is going to be boosted by Simple, and that's going to be stab to it too. So I was like, I wonder what the other moves are. I know that it can get stuff like Aqua Jet, Waterfall, Rest. Regardless of that, I thought I might as well go for the Destiny Bond. However, they're going to go for another Skull Bash, and that sucks. There's not much I can do here. Since Destiny Bond's changed to, if you do use it in Concession, it's like Protect or whatever, it does actually fail. But there was nothing I can really do to it, right? I could have swapped, but I thought, no, I'll just get rid of Delibird and swap something fresh in. There's not much I can actually do there. A 2-turn base move actually countered my Destiny Bond strategy pretty good there. Alright, anyway, so I thought, let's swap him for Alligator. I've got Focus Miss, I can at least hit it with that. I know it's going to do heavy damage to it, but it's probably not going to be enough to take it out. Anyway, Bibarel's going to go for the Quick Attack, which is Stab, not really doing too much to me, and actually Land, which is really nice. Now, I probably needed a workup to take that out, because Bibarel's quite bulky in health. So I thought, well, one's probably going to be, enough to take it out after a workup. I thought about going for a workup here in case it had, like, I was a little bit worried about Rest, though. Anyway, went for the Ice Beam, and it's not enough to take it out because my Aurora Veil goes down, and it's not very effective. So now I go for the Ice Beam. Instead of going for a Quick Attack, it went for another move. I'm probably guessing it maybe could have gone for Rest there, and that would have been really bad. I didn't really want to risk the Focus Miss miss, so I decided to go for Ice Beam. That was my reasoning for that. But even with its nice... average special attacker wasn't enough to take it out. Anyway, so I have Nose Pass coming in, which takes my Hydro Pump. Now it's going to use Attract. So I was like, oh, here we go. Now, I could go for another Hydro Pump or a Focus Miss, or I could just finish it off with Ice Beam. I thought, let's go for Ice Beam here. That'll be my best bet. Anyway, so Nose Pass is going to go for the Attract. I'm going to get Immobilized by Love. Then it's going to go for Zap Cannon, and it lands. I'm like, damn, son. So that's going to be Parafusion, not Parafusion. Immobile. It's going to Immobilize me by Love, and it's going to get the Paralyzed too. So that's not good. So I get my Potato Berry boost. Not that it would have mattered too much. I know that I can finish the Nose Pass off on the next attack. Anyways, so I'm going to get Immobilized by Love, and the Nose Pass is going to go for the block here. So, that high five. So I was thinking, well, what is it? Is it going to try and like set up on me or something? So it had like one more move I hadn't seen. However, I was able to get through the Infatuation and the Paralysis to take out the Nose Pass. But a cool set there. I like that one. I got... That Zap Cannon, though, that was savage. Now, Gen 2's Virtual Console, right, Zap Cannon is a TM, so you can start bringing that over when, all the Pokebank stuff comes out. That's going to be pretty cool. So now, Walrein is going to go for the Substitute, and the only move I can really do is Focus Blast. So this is a really bad situation, right, because not only does Focus miss, I'm also paralyzed, and Walrein's got a Substitute up. So all Walrein really has to do here, in case it gets really, really unlucky, and it's also got leftovers too, so that's going to give the Substitute more longevity. It's going to be able to use it more often. All Walrein really has to do here is go for the Substitute and just keep doing it until I miss or get paralyzed. So the inevitable happens, I get paralyzed. I'm like, bugger, this is not a good situation. I really have to swap out here. I'm on a low amount of health though, so I just wanted to find out what this set was actually going to be. It could be a couple of things. Anyway, so Walrein is going to go for the Ice Ball. Now, Ice Ball is an ice equivalent of Rollout, so it just gets exponentially more powerful. It doesn't have 100% accuracy. That was probably my only saving grace. Anyway, so getting through that Paralysis and Focus Blast hits, which is really, really good. So that's going to expose the Substitute and now the Walrein itself. So I'm going to be able to at least land attacks on this thing and do some damage. So, as obviously with Ice Ball, you're locked into and you just have to keep going, basically. Now, the Ice Ball, even though it's not very effective, is going to get very, very powerful. And, I've got to take this thing out before it takes another one of my Pokemon out. So I thought, since I got that Typhlosion with Substitute right, I might be able to work it around doing that. Now, this was one of the first battles that I had too, right? And, of course, it was me, and I forgot to put my freaking Z Crystal for Fightium Z on it. So I'm like, in the battle, I'm like, no, this sucks. So I thought, well, my best option here is go for Substitute and hope for a miss, or get Ice Ball to run its race, as it hits 5 times in a row, and then maybe try and attack it on the first ice ball again. Anyways, I was hoping for a miss here the whole time. So the Warrane's it's going to get all its health back at the cost of me using Substitute each time. I can't go for the Focus Punch because I'm going to get hit by Ice Ball and I'm going to lose my focus. So my really only option is to go for the Substitute. Anyway, so Warren is going to keep continually attacking me. Really here, I was just hoping for a miss on Ice Ball. That was really what I was hoping to do. Anyways, so I can do 2 more Substitute on Typhlosion. I need a drink of water. This Warren though. I actually did a physical Warrior myself. I did like a belly drum ice ball one. It's pretty fun. Anyway, so going for another substitute here. I can only use real one more. Warren's going to go for its final ice ball against me. So I thought, it's landed all those times in a row. I'm going to take a risk here and go for the focus miss. And they may miss an ice ball. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to have to swap a fresh Pokemon in after this. So I took a massive risk here and I thought, let's make a play that they probably wouldn't expect. So go for the focus punch here. And they're actually going to go for the Ice Fang. Ice Fang misses! No way! I can't believe that! That was so lucky. And Focus Punch does a lot of health to Warren. Warren is very bulky and Typhlosion's attack is basically crap. So I was very happy with that. Now it's actually put in range for me to go for an Earthquake, and that's going to be enough to take out Warren. Man, that was so lucky. The whole battle I was trying to get Ice Ball to miss, and then Ice Fang misses. What are the chances of that? So Warren goes down, man, just dives in a pool of salt, right? So the next Pokemon to come out is Zoroark. I can go for a Flare Blitz against this thing. However, it's going to go for a Giga Impact, and that's going to be enough to take out Typhlosion quite easy. I think they'll... I said so a tiny bit salty after using that. Speaking of salt, this one's pretty good too. So now I've got a freeze turn. I thought, well, let's swap and Execute here. I want to try out my defensive wall, right? So on the recharge of Zoroark, I can go for a Sunny Day. Now, Sunny Day is going to help me out for a few reasons, right? On my set, I've got Sinethus, which is going to allow me to have more healing, and Harvest, which is going to be able to activate 100% of the time in the sun. With no sun on the field, it activates 50% of the time, so it's not a guaranteed option. Anyway, so the Zoroark's going to go for a Giga Impact, doing 3/4 to me. I'm going to go for Sinethus. I actually just wanted to heal myself off. I thought it would do a little bit more. Now, this was actually a choice banded Zoroark, so I took that very, very well. I've got no Everlight or anything. I'm max health, max defense, bold nature. So going for the Toxic on Zoroark anyway, I really wanted it to put me in range for my Ganlon berries so I could, pop a few of them in the sun and get very, very bulky in defense. Well, even bulkier than I already am. You could also run this with Executor too. It's pretty fun. Anyway, so Zoroark's going to go for yet another Giga Impact. The problem with this is it's just not doing enough damage to me. Now, I've got my move Giga Drain there, so I can't get taunted. Execute does have decent special attack, so I'm getting enough health back there, and it's doing good damage to Zoroark too with the poison racking up. So probably the next turn after the next Giga Impact, that's going to be enough to take out Zoroark. It's going to have to recharge this turn. So I thought about just using Sunny Day again so I could get my Ganlon Berry to activate, but I thought, nah, let's go for Giga Drain. That's going to put it in enough range to actually take it out the next turn. So, I could get my Berry to activate, but Zoroark could still be around. So I didn't think that was a worthwhile trade-off just to get my strategy to work. Anyway, so now we have Turtonator coming out. Turtonator is very, very bulky. So I was like, I've got to get a Toxic on this thing. This is like priority number 1. Toxic misses. I'm like, no. Anyway, so Turtonator is going to go for 5 spin. It's a trapping set. Obviously, 5 spin now. However, this is a bad matchup for me. However, I'm going to actually eat my Ganlon Berry, which is going to give me a buff and defense. Now, Harvest is going to kick in again, and I'm going to eat another berry. So you can actually make use of Harvest and just keep doing your berries, which is really, really cool. Now, I've got +2 in defense, so I'm bulky. The problem was, right, I was very much countered because this is a special attacker. If this was a physical attacker, right, I'd be home and, I'd be home. It'd be cool. I could just heal the next turn, keep getting my berries up. So you could definitely run this as a special attacking boosting berry too, just as counterpart. You could definitely do that. That'd be quite exciting. Run it on something like Executor, like max health, max defense, then boost the special defensive defense. Anyway, so getting the Toxic on Turtonator, I guess that was the best thing I could possibly do. There wasn't much. I could go for Leech Seed. It was pretty much it. Anyway, so I'm going to go down to the next Fire Spin and next Execute down, but it did a pretty good job, I guess, and I got to show, at least show you what I was trying to do with my set. Now, I've got 2 Pokemon left. We've actually both got 2 Pokemon left, so a very close battle. Now, I'm bringing in Skarmory, so I thought this would be absolute perfect bait for Turtonator to go for the Fire Spin. However, it's going to go for a Shell Smash, maybe expecting a physical flying type move. Now, this is a special move. Being an Air Slash, I actually already explained this set already. Now, the Shell Trap is going to fail, obviously. Now, I thought this would be perfect bait for Turtonator to go for me, or I could go for attacking move, Air Slash myself. I was quite confident I could live a Fire Spin for Turtonator regardless. So going for the Air Slash, hoping I get like a scummy flinch. It doesn't happen, however, Fire Spin lands, which is good. It can actually miss with a shaky accuracy. And hit me does under half health, which is cool. So I'm not going to be, susceptible to any priority. And that's going to boost my weakness policy, which is nice. Now, Turtonator's going to have another poison. However, they actually had a Wiki Berry, right? But it must have been like 1 or 2 health out of the range of it activating, and that actually put me in definite range after the weakness policy to take Turtonator out with the Air Slash. So quite unlucky there with the berry activation. So now, the last Pokemon we have is the Volbeat. I've got Air Slash against this thing, so I thought that would be pretty good. Now it's going to go for the U-turn. So it obviously doesn't have much to hit me. I know it can have like stuff like U-turn, acrobatics, or a physical set. But it's obviously running a physical set. It would have already used a special set if it was. So anyway, my weak armor is going to activate. I went for Icy Wind just in case it was really, speedy set that could be annoying, that could somehow get past me, and this could help out my next Pokemon. And if it had a Focus Sash, it's at least broken anyway. So I've got the speed drop there. Now I'm going to outspeed it now and go for the Flash Cannon, which is 100% accuracy, beside Air Slash. It almost takes it out, but the only move it's obviously got to hit me is U-turn. So that is pretty much game. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Make sure you stick around for the bonus battle on bloopers. There's a funny bonus battle, guys. You got to stick around. Now, as I said, I will be live streaming tonight, hopefully, in case I get something really bad comes up. I won't be, but I'd say I'm 99.9% sure I'll be streaming with giving away some shiny valleys and doing some multi-battles. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace. Do, 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 do.